Live from the station that's in your corner, you're watching Fox 4 Morning News.
Good morning, I'm Lisa Greenberg.
And I'm Chris Shaw. Good to see you for Fox 4 Morning News at 6. Cape Coral police have a stern warning for your children when it comes to threatening violence at school.
We'll tell you the ripple-down impacts just one threat has on an entire community.
That message especially important on the eve of the Parkland shooting anniversary.
What one thing students at school don't want to be asked. We'll have that coming up. First, though, want to bring in Danny because we are off to a wet start this morning. Really rainy.
A lot of rain, even some thunderstorm activity associated with the cold front. So we'll zoom in here. Looks like Charlotte County getting another wave moving through. It's a little drier for a minute there in Port Charlotte, but Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, over through Rotunda, even as you head toward 31, picking up rain once again. Our inland spots, the rain intensity is backing off in Clewiston and Moorhaven, drying out momentarily in LaBelle before the next area of rain shifts in. And then the most widespread rain that we're seeing right now in Lee County, and it's moderately heavy rain all across Lee County. Fort Myers, North Fort Myers, San Carlos Park, down through Bonita, even into Lehigh Acres. I-75 and 41 at this point will have accumulated water because we've seen heavy rain for so long. This was a thunderstorm that we were tracking, now moving past Port of the Island, still seeing a couple strikes and heavy rain there. But really, you should know it's just a wet start to the morning. It's a cold front bringing this through, so we're seeing a significant drop in just the past 30 minutes in temperature as that cold air sets in behind the front. So our temperatures are actually going to decrease throughout the day. We'll just be in the 60s. The rain will wrap up as we head toward your lunch hour. After lunchtime, the rain will wrap up from there. Cool and cloudy through this evening, but it really is a wet start, so you'll want to take it slow as you head out the door. Lauren, are we seeing any commute problems so far?
Right now, I don't see a high volume of drivers out there, so the drive times are still on the low side, but don't take that as me saying that there isn't rain out there, because you can see with their breaking news tracker, there's a lot of rain right here, US 41 in Collier County. I know we just heard it above us here in Cape Coral at the studio as well, and I've been texting and calling our photographer Lyle when he's not driving, by the way, and he says it's pretty bad out there. Switching over to maps, I can show you, even though we have that rain, the drive time still on the low side, like I said. So right here from on Pine Island Road, headed westbound from about US 41 to Del Prado, that stretch only going to take you about 4 minutes right now. That's your morning traffic. Back to you.
Lauren, thank you. New this morning, the controversial bill that would allow some teachers to carry guns in schools is gaining traction in the state Senate.
The bill passed the Senate Education Committee vote. That means the safety law could end up in front of the full Senate in March. However, right now there's no companion bill in the House, which is needed for a full legislature vote.
Now, this bill actually expands a law that passed last year after 17 people were killed at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland.
It makes several changes to the school safety law, but debate has focused on the language allowing teachers to serve as armed guardians.
Now, current law only allows armed teachers if they also have a role outside of the classroom, like a sports coach. School districts have to approve arming teachers, and volunteers have to undergo training.
And tomorrow is a somber day for many here in Florida and a tragic reminder for an entire student body.
Yep, it is the day their classmates died, and people at Parkland survived the worst school shooting in American history. A lot of students at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School say they expect to be asked how they're coping.
Am I coping with it? No, because we lived through something that none of us should have ever lived through in the first place. People do not lose people to gun violence. People are stolen from us.
That's David Hogg right there. He became an activist that day. He appeared on the news to talk about a janitor that helped save his life that day. He co-founded the Never Again organization, and he gives speeches all over the country.
Other students have also joined in on the activism. One went to the State of the Union. Another was a witness at the first House hearing on gun violence in 8 years.
And to remember the Parkland victims, there will be vigils all over our state tomorrow, including one at the Naples Pier. People will gather from 5 to 6 there tomorrow night. If you go, you are asked to bring a candle.
Today, a judge will hear testimony from a former security monitor at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. He says a shooting victim's father is harassing him. Former school watchman Andrew Medina claims Andrew Pollock threatened him at a park. Pollock lost his daughter Meadow during the shooting last year. He's also suing Medina, accusing him of negligence during the shooting. Medina has told police he recognized the shooting suspect, Nicholas Cruz, as a former student before this shooting, but did not stop him. Medina was fired by the school district last year.
And with all of this in mind, Cape Coral police want parents to talk to their children about how dangerous it is to make threats about violence at school. They say they've arrested 3 students for making school threats in just the last week. And since the beginning of the year, police say there have been 47 fake threats. They've come in verbally, written, and on social media. Lee County Superintendent Greg Atkins says the threats have an impact on everyone in the community.
These types of actions scare people. I mean, people are scared, and parents are afraid to send their kid to school, and understandably so, if a threat has been made. And so what that does is unnecessarily and negatively impacts people.
And here's something else to keep in mind. Atkins says with the Parkland anniversary tomorrow, security will be heightened throughout the district.
And all of this comes as we're learning more about a second threat at Riverdale High School. This happened last week. The principal sent out a message to parents telling them about a note someone found in the bathroom. It said Columbine V2. According to the principal, the threat was not credible. Lee County Sheriff's deputies have arrested a 14-year-old girl in connection to a pepper spray incident at a school dance in Lehigh Acres. This happened at G. Weaver Hips Elementary Friday night. 12 people, including 10 children, ended up in the hospital after being exposed to that pepper spray. The teen is arrested on a charge of a possession of a weapon on school property.
6:06 is the time right now. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are trying to beat the clock and get a funding bill voted on and signed into law before midnight Friday so they can avoid another government shutdown. President Trump said he's not happy with their bipartisan compromise, but he also did not signal that he would veto the plan. It includes more than $1 billion for 55 miles of new border fencing and does not cap the number of migrants U.S. authorities can detain. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell spoke with the president on the phone, and he urged him to sign this.
I'm hoping that he will find this agreement acceptable and then he signs the bill.
Colombia's president will visit the White House today on what will be a busy day there as political unrest continues to rock that nation's neighbor, Venezuela.
Well, the public is going to get its chance to weigh in on the future plans for the Greyhound racing track in Bonita Springs.
Yep, a meeting is set for tonight, and this decision needs to be made because Florida voted to ban dog racing last November. Catherine joins us live from the Naples-Fort Myers Greyhound track. Catherine, what can you tell us about this meeting?
Chris and Lisa, community members are invited to attend a meeting here at the dog track tonight where local officials will discuss what's going to happen to this place once dog racing and betting on dog racing is no longer allowed by the end of next year. Neighbors to the dog track say they recently received notices about this meeting here tonight where the plan is to rezone to a commercially planned development to allow construction of a new 30,000 square foot facility. Now, this dog track also has a poker room, and the new amendment shouldn't affect how these gambling activities take place. But again, all of this should be discussed at the meeting here tonight. And if you're interested, there will be opportunities to ask questions when the meeting starts at 5:30. If you can't make it but have questions or concerns, just head over to our website, fox4now.com. You'll find the Director of Planning's contact information there. You can either reach her by phone or by email until the meeting begins at 5:30 here tonight. Reporting live in Bonita Springs, Catherine Marsh, Fox 4, in your corner.
Catherine, thank you. Today, Collier County Fire Commissioners will talk about moving a fire station. Not everyone is pleased with this idea, though. Fire leaders say they want to move Station 40 from Pine Ridge Road and Goodlet Frank to Forest Lakes Boulevard and Goodlet Frank Road. It's only a move of about a quarter mile, but people who live nearby say it will delay response times because of traffic. The fire department says it has outgrown that current station, which is 40 years old.
6:08 is the time right now. This morning, Fort Myers Police Captain Jay Rodriguez is under scrutiny because of an undercover investigation. The city confirms it is investigating this video. It was provided to Fox 4. It's from a sting operation Captain Rodriguez, who was a lieutenant at the time, worked on back in 2013. The video was given to us by a fired police officer who claims the video shows Rodriguez engaging in sexual misconduct with a woman at a massage parlor. Neither Rodriguez nor the department is commenting.
Rodriguez is not under any criminal investigation at this time, but former prosecutor Chris Crowley says Rodriguez could face felony charges if he used police department funds to pay for sex with a prostitute. Crowley says if FMPD knew about what Rodriguez did before this tape was leaked, it could spell trouble for the department.
This is from 2013, and it seems like nobody wanted to do anything. Still wrong for Jay Rodriguez to have done what he did on the tape.
Now, Crowley says other cases Rodriguez handled could come into question if he's criminally investigated for this incident.
You should also know the former officer who leaked the video has a history of conflict with Captain Rodriguez and the department. In 2011, O'Neill Kerr was arrested on suspicion of domestic violence. The charge was dropped. He was fired and then reinstated. Kerr went on to sue the then police chief and the department for discrimination, and last year he was fired again, and he also filed a complaint against Captain Rodriguez.
Now, this is not the first time the Fort Myers Police Department has been the center of controversy.
No, in 2015, local NFL star Nate Allen was wrongfully arrested by FMPD. Officers accused him of a crime he didn't commit. The state attorney slammed the police at the time, questioning the legality of how they handled the entire thing. Allen sued the city of Fort Myers. They agreed to pay him $440,000.
It was Nate Allen's arrest that prompted an investigation into the Fort Myers Police Department. The Free Report found a culture of corruption, protection of officers accused of wrongdoing, leaking of information to criminals, witness murders, and drug trafficking rings being allowed to operate.
The former Fort Myers police chief, Doug Baker, was fired as a result of Nate Allen's arrest. Then city manager Billy Mitchell questioned Chief Baker's integrity after an internal investigation showed there were discrepancies in his account of what he did and said the night Nate Allen was arrested.
Well, this morning the search is intensifying for a monkey stolen out of a Florida zoo.
Law enforcement and the zoo released this grainy surveillance photo right there, hoping someone knows something about where the monkey is.
And 6:11 right now, it is a wet start to your Wednesday morning. I'm tracking rain, and Lauren Petrelli has commute impacts before you head out the door to start your Wednesday. 6:11 again, you're watching Fox 4 Morning News.
Tonight.